Hi everyone, I'm Akinola. You are welcome to Pataki channel. This channel share with you simple lesson on software development, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, skills with some samples and how to use this technology to boost pro productivity. Don't forget to subscribe and hit like icon so you don't miss any of my weekly tutorial. 8-week intensive training, full stack software development masterclass. Software development. How the developer turn ideas into working software. Every website, mobile app, digital service you use exists because of software development. Software development is the process of designing, building, testing, and maintaining application and system. This lecture will cover the basic concept, key component, real-world application, advanced technical detail will be discussed in the later session. First, we define some of the key terms in the 8-week software development course outlined. We are going to touch HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Microsoft Excel, MySQL, PHP, and WordPress. The course progress from fundamental, that is the front end, to back end, concluding with CMS, the WordPress, and project integration. By the end of 8 weeks, learner will be able to build responsive websites, interact with database, write PHP scripts, and develop customized WordPress websites. Week 1, we are going to look into introduction to software development and HTML. In the week 2, we look at CSS. Week 3, we look at JavaScript. Week 4, advanced JavaScript and projects. Week 5, MySQL for developers. Week 6, MySQL database. Week 7, PHP and backend development. And we round it up with WordPress and capstone projects. Introduction to software development and HTML. What is software development? It's the process of designing, creating, testing, and maintaining software application. Example, mobile app, website, desktop program, AI system. Why learning software development? Because of high demand and job opportunity, enable innovation and automation, help build custom solution for business and personal use. Software type. We have 3 types of software. System software, the operating system. Application software, example is Word, Excel, and ChatGPT. Development software, the IDE and compiler. Software development lifecycle. The purpose of software development lifecycle is to provide a structure and systemic process for planning, creating, testing, developing, and maintaining software application. It ensures that software is developed efficiently, cost-effectively, with high quality to meet users' requirements and organization goals. Purpose and description. Structure. It organizes the development process into phases. Quality assurance. Ensure the software meets standard and user need. Cost and time control. Minimize risk and prevent budget overrun. Requirement clarity. This will define the software. This define what the software should accomplish. Project management. Help to monitor the progress, deliver on schedule. Collaboration. Improve the communication among the stakeholder, and maintenance ensure long-term functionality and update. These are the phases. The phases of software development lifecycle. Planning, analysis, designing, implementation at the coding level, the testing, deployment, and maintenance. SDLC SDLC model, the waterfall model, agile development, interactive model, and the DevOps. Now, programming language overview. Examples of programming language are the Python, the Java, JavaScript, PHP, CSS, HTML, C++. Choosing the right language depends on the project type you are working on. Tools like software development, that is the text editor, Visual Studio or Sublime. The tools we use in software development are text development, the Visual Studio or Sublime, version control, GIT or GIT Hub, debugger or databases, MySQL, Mongo, and so on. Roles in software development team. What are the roles? Each member. We have software developers, front-end and back-end engineer, full-stack developer, UI UX designer, QA tester. Front-end and back-end. What are the difference? The front-end deals with user's interface, back-end, server logic, and database. Front-end uses HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Back-end uses PHP, Python, and Node. Front-end run in browser, while back-end run on server. What is website made of? HTML, structure of the web page. CSS is styling and layout. Create styling and layout. JavaScript bring interactivity and behaviors. The content between software and web development. Web development is the branch of software engineering. Website and apps use the same principle of coding, testing, and development. Now, introduction to HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Define the structure of web pages. Use tags and elements to describe content. History of HTML, invented by Tim Berners-Lee in 1991. Current version is HTML5. Foundation of all modern web applications. What are the structure? The structure of HTML is as follows. The doc type HTML, that is HTML5, then followed by the HTML, followed by head. The title comes here, the title of your project comes here, then head close here, head. Then the body continue from here and end here, then the HTML round up at the bottom. That is the work in loop. The first come, last out. First come, last out in HTML document structure. What is the meaning of? These are the HTML structure here. Doc type, HTML, HTML head. Now let's now break it down into what are the meaning of all these. The following. What is the meaning of the following? Now, doc type HTML means that declaration form. The web browser about the web tell the web browser about the HTML version being used. It declare or inform the web browser about the HTML version being used. That is, we are using HTML5. The latest version is HTML5, but if this change in the future, maybe 10 years time down the lane, the doc type declaration will be F4. Now, HTML root element. HTML tag is the root element that encapsulates all the content of the pages. HTML tag mark the end /HTML mark the end of HTML session. Now, the HTML tag contain metadata, the link to external resources like CSS and JavaScript file. HTML, the HTML head tag end of the HTML section. body tag. Body tag. Body tag stated here. The body tag contains the visible content of the web page. This is where the text, images, and other elements go. /body means the tag mark the end of visible content of the web page. You can see it here. /body here. Body starts here and end here. Every HTML page should include at least this essential element to define the basic layout. In our incoming tutorial, we will dive deeper into the fascinating world of HTML. Now, typical HTML look like this. Here we have HTML, we have head. The title of your web page becomes here under title, page title. Then the head closes /head. The body continue. Inside the body, we have H1. What's the meaning of H1? The heading. That one run between H1 to H6. H1 being the highest or the biggest of the heading. While the P means the paragraph. The P here, and when we have /P, that marks the end of the paragraph. Then we have another P. Then the body. That is not a typical HTML page, how it look like. Now, what are the common HTML tags? We have this H1 to H6, that is the heading. P means paragraph. A is link. IMG is image. UL is unordered list, while OL is ordered list. These are lists. HTML attributes. What are the attributes? HTML attributes add extra info into the element. Example, image src equal to cat. That is, a cat will be stored somewhere in your system or on the database. Then the IMG src locate and bring this and display on the screen. Example is what you can see here. That's another example of link. HAHREF, that is the website. https://www.pataki.com, that is visit pataki.com. This one is another link, a creating link. How do we add images? IMG src equals image.jpg, JPG, that is my image. List in HTML, the ordered list, we have mentioned that one before. The whole means ordered list, while UL means unordered list. Table in HTML. Table, we have table in this format. TR, TH, then /TH to end it, and so on. These are the table structure in HTML. Now, form. Form in HTML also follow this format. Form, label, name. Then we end the form, label, input type, text, input, then type, submit. Then the form end. I've said it earlier that the HTML work in a loop version, in a first come, last out version. The label comes in last and label is out. Form enter first and label form out last. Now, HTML best practice. Always close tags. To get the best from your result or from your HTML, always close the tag. Use identification. Include alt tells for images. Validate with W3C validator. Now, step to run HTML code now. How do we now run HTML code? Number one, you have to install Visual Studio Code. You can use other one, you can use Sublime, but Visual Studio Code can be downloaded from https://code Visual Studio. You install in your system, create a new folder. Create a folder X anywhere in your system, e.g. Pataki. Inside, create a file called portfolio.html. Open the folder in VS Code, then go to File, Open Folder. Select your project folder, that is the Pataki folder, and click Open. Now to write your HTML code, in Visual Studio Code, open Portfolio HTML file and type the following. As we have said earlier, doc type HTML, HTML head, my first HTML page, body, hello, and so on. This is my first HTML page, the body. Now you end it. How do you save? Just press Ctrl plus S. And if you are using Mac, you press CMD plus S to save your changes. Now, practical exercise. Let us build a personal portfolio homepage using HTML, which is as follows. HTML, doc type HTML. HTML lang equals English. That is, this HTML project is going to be in English. Everything displayed in English form. Metaset UTF-8, and my title of my is my portfolio. The title of the output is going to be portfolio, then end, stop there. Then the body continue. H1 means that let my welcome to my portfolio be the biggest heading. You can see it here. That's it. That's my heading of my portfolio. Welcome to my portfolio. That is the HI, because I picked the HI, you are going to see welcome to in a bigger form. Now, P, now the next one, P, hello, my name, I'm Akinola, computer instructor, and so on. This one starts with P, that is the next paragraph. And I end it, I put an end by using /P, that is the whole of that line, end the paragraph. Yeah, I move to the next paragraph. Now, IMG CRS. I've already saved this picture somewhere in my system. Then to locate it, I now to use IMG CRS Akinola O.png. Alt Akinola O. The computer will go and fetch this. When I run this program, it's going to fetch the picture out, just as you did. You can see it here. Then H2. H2 means the next level of my heading, which is a little bit smaller than the previous one. The previous one is H1, the next one is H2. You can see it's a little bit smaller, that is H2. Then UL. UL means unordered list. So it's not going to be numbered. Because I use unordered list, list 1, all of them in this format, HTML. I open my unordered list again, L1, and my L1 close here. L1 again, JavaScript, close here. L1 again, Python, close here. It is unordered list. That is why you can see the dot beside it. If it is ordered, you are going to see 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. Then I close my UL. H2, another one is H2. H2 again, I have contact me. Just at the bottom here, H2, P, I move to the next page. Then email, I supply the email, href equals mod2, that is mail, send your mail to akinola@pataki.com. That is akinola@pataki.com. You can see it, it formed, that is what formed this now, /body. Now my HTML, I close my HTML. When you run this code with your Visual Studio, this is the output. This is the output of what you see on your on your screen. Practice again, these are the other practice. I have about this practice is another big practice. From A, it go on like this again. Doc type HTML is English, meta set, meta name, already there. Sample HTML form, demo, can see there. Now, my head, close there. Body now. Division, class, the first container is the first one is container, which is a header. H1 equals, that is the biggest of them again, sample HTML form. Then I have all this on my next paragraph. I have all this stated there. It's a long sentence written there. Then header, stop here. Then form, ID. Write this one again. I have it here. Then personal detail now. I use my H2 again. Please, the next page again. Please fill the detail below. The form below is a simple demo. It does not send data anywhere. That's A. B is still continue. That's a B. So under B, we also talk about the link and images. The link and images. Then P again, come out. Visit our demo site. Then this Ahref will call out this website. It will call out this website. Then we have P here. The project provide image, then image class, then list again. Come to my list again. Under the list, we have feed set. We have the legend, that is the things to know. Below are the example of unordered and ordered list. Again, here I am again with my ordered and ordered list. Under the ordered list, unordered list, I have all this HTML basic, form control, accessibility base. But under the ordered list, I have this. By the time you see the output, this one will be in number, while this one will be unordered. Just a dot. C continue to my C. Now, this is where I have my legend, sample table. Simple table embodied in the form. This is my table. TR means we are dealing with table here. The table, the item on top, detail and quantity. The item, detail and quantity. So the table row. So we have course here now again. That is, again, table row again, courses, introduction to HTML, and we have my I here. Then book again. Our book, HTML pocket guide, and 2, and so on. The next, so it go on like that until I end my table here, /table. That is the feed set. Now, radio button. What does radio button do in HTML? Radio button shows that you can only pick one option. That is the radio button. Under radio button, we normally have something like a gender. That is label, radio name, gender. Value, male. Again, gender, female. And we have the third one, because some those who may be another thing outside male or female, so we have others for them. But the one thing is that you can only pick one anytime you are using radio button. Then we have checkbox. Checkbox allow you to pick a multiple items. Multiple items, just like when you are talking of a hobby. So under this one, under the checkbox, we have feed set, legend, interest, select all that apply. This one will be display up. Then in this case, item type. My item type, the checkbox will mean interest value, that is AI and machine learning, web development, UI, UX. So I'm allowed to pick as many as possible in this case. The third one is text area. On here, you are going to have an opportunity to write on a block of a rectangle form. Rectangle form, that is additional notes. In this case, my text area is going to be row 5, while the column is going to be 50, just in form of a rectangle. I'm going to see it in form of a rectangle. Now, fit set now, under the legend contact, under my contact, I'm going to have full name here. I'm going to have placeholder. Then my emails come here and then submit. There's a button called submit. When you see action means button type, submit. Button type, reset. So you're going to have two types of button, the reset and submit. So you have to signify that it is a button type, not a label. So it's a button type. No, that is E. So the one that's rounded up is F. That's why we have footer style. Margin top, that is 18, the footer at the bottom. Then the color. This is the color. We have different type of color. This color now is in a hexadecimal color. Hexadecimal. This is one of the example of hexadecimal color. Channel C6, hexadecimal color. Create as a sample. Feel free to copy and modify. Then I have my footer end here. Now, let's now see the output. The output comes out in this format. That's the output of my work. Sample HTML form. Personal detail is listed here, which I've already discussed. This is my unordered list. This is my ordered list. This is the table I'm referring to, that is in rows, in rows, in rows. That's when we see the TR and TH. Now, I also mentioned radio button. This is the radio button. You can only pick one. You can only pick one radio button. So in my radio button, you either select male, female, or other. Then in the case of interest, excuse me, in the case of interest, you can pick as many. You can pick all. So we call this one checkbox. Then I have the additional note. This is where I have my test area. This is my test area in form of a rectangle, 5 by 50. An additional area. Then I have my contact here. That's the contact written there. Submit and reset. Submit and reset. Under submit, this one, if it is attached to a database, all the information here goes straight to the database. If you click reset, it will clear all the information and you start all over again. Then this can serve as a test, the exercise for who is interested. So in the case of exercise now, we are going to have all this one. This is a drop-down button. This is a radio button again. This one is check button, checkboard. This one we upload. We are going to look at that one as we go in this project as we go on. Thank you for watching. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Thank you. God bless. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.